Hello everyone and welcome to episode 44 of our game dev tutorials. Today I want to create a generalized Menu2d which you can then inherit from for your own menus. And then we'll start a character menu with that. And when I say start a character menu, I'm just going to do the inheritance and display the name of the hero, which we'll add. So first we'll add the art. We will create Menu2d. Put in the pipeline for the menu. Then we will test it. Then we will create Menu2d character 2d inherit from Menu2d. Add the name to hero, and we'll draw the name in the proper menu, and we will test it again. It's a pretty simple, straightforward thing, but it's something that I want you guys to have. Before we go any further, though, guys, please hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot when you guys do that, and it helps to spread the word a bit about the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't rung the bell, please do that as well. And Discord, guys, I'm over there if you need any help. People ask for stuff all the time. I'm there to help. Please do so. If you just want to chat, I'm there as well. Yeah. If I'm sounding a little lethargic, guys, I apologize. I am right in the middle of crunching for Guilds of Dalinar. Comes out in 2 weeks from today, so keep that in mind on March 22nd. I'd love the support for that when it comes out, wishlisted or whatever. Pick it up when it comes out. That'd be wonderful. Anything to push it over the top would be great. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into this. First things first. We are going to be working in the engine for Menu2d. So it's just a data type. We will add a new item, Menu2d. Add. Alright, so first things first, let's just grab our includes. Doesn't matter where you get them from. Fix our namespace. Public. Oh, you know what? I gotta add the file. Let me grab that. Let me grab the file. That would be good. Oh, that's not it. There we go. Alright. Like in MISC, I think. 2D MISC file. There we go. And it goes there. I guess I should show it real fast. It's obviously my most awesomest art stuff ever. Just an X button. That's all we need for what we're doing right now. This is not designed to be PUB LIC no B there. Okay, little typo there. All right, got that. We have our art. We're good to go. So public Menu2d. Alright, and so this is the most basic menu that I use. Now, can you make a more basic one? You absolutely can. We actually did that with our skill menu. This one's going to be slightly more complicated. Not really. But this is really about as basic as I ever used. The other one was more basic than I ever use in a game. So, this just gives some basic functionality for us to build on top of. So, the first thing we want to consider doing is we want to know if it's open or close, and we did this in the last one, so we want a bool, but we are not going to do public here. So I'm going to go over a protected variable here. So and that is because this needs to be active needs to be not called from outside of the menu. So yeah. It won't take effect here, but you will override the property that we're going to put in a minute all the time. So just trust me, you don't want to do the other ways. You don't want to access this variable from outside this class, so we're going to protect it. And then eventually you'll see why. I'm sure we'll run into that at some point. Okay, so we need a bunch of vector 2s. We need the position. Oops. The dimensions. We actually don't have to add the dimensions, but I found that I like them. And we want to know where the top left of it is. So position's the center of it. So we want to know where the top left is. And that will become apparent later, but it really helps with at least my brain in figuring out where I want to place things. Because, you know, I'm American, i.e. European, so we read left to right, top to bottom, so knowing where the top left is important. If you are making a Japanese game, maybe you want to know where the top right is. So just think that through, but this is important. And you'll see that. We'll use that in at least one thing for this game, for this tutorial today. Public animated 2D. This is just the background. BKG. We want the close button that I added the art for there. So public button 2D close button. We want a font. You should have access to a font in your menu. So we're going to do it here. If you want to just make a global for your fonts and do all your fonts off a global, that's not a bad idea either. But in this case, we're just going to do it this way. Right. Font. Boy. You get those fingers in the right spots. Okay, and then we are not going to use this today, but this is helpful. And it's what happens when you close the menu. So it's close action. What this would be for is like if you want to save when you close the menu, for instance, then you would call the save function here. If you wanted to do something else when something is, like maybe you're updating the look of your character when you close the character menu, or maybe, I don't know. There's a million and one reasons why you want to do something when a menu closes. So we're going to put it in here. We're not going to use it today, but it's something that I think you guys will find use for. So, alright, so here we go. What variables do we need to know coming in? What are our constructor variables? Just position, dimensions, and the pass object that we're not using this time, but we're going to set it up anyway. So pose equals pose, dims equals dims, close action equals close action. Okay, we got that set up. That's awesome. Okay, for this generic menu, we are just going to use solid as the background. So BKG equals new, animated 2D, and this, and then new vector 2, and then new vector 2, new vector 2, and color dot white. Okay, so in general here, this is our background. Frames wise, it's just 1-1 because it's just the base. Dimensions are going to come in from here. So, well, actually, we'll use this dims. Dims.x, dims.y. Position will always be 0, 0 here, and I'll explain that later. 2D, menu, misc, solid. Okay, there's our background. We need our close button. Close button equals new button 2D. And then we are going to have new vector 2, new vector 2, font path. We're not going to do a font. We don't need any text. We'll get that in a second. And then null. Okay, so we need a function for closing. Let's get all of our functions. Public virtual void update. Public virtual void draw. I cannot spell. Okay, and then we need close. So public virtual void close. And then I'll do the property right now too, which I'm going to use a region. I don't know if I've used a region or not before, but I'm going to put one in. so that you can see how to do that. Not that it's difficult, but sometimes it's nice to see things. Let's do that because I'm going to use it right here. So my properties go between my constructor and my update. So region is just an area of code that you can collapse, right? So you can do that. And I leave mine collapsed almost always, unless I'm editing what's inside. To do a property, and I don't think I've done this before, it's just public, then the type, in this case bool, and then you can call this whatever you want, but active, I just use active. I use the name of the variable, but with an uppercase, because it works like a function, but it acts like a variable when we're done. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So you have two things inside here. You have get, and you have set. Whoops. Man. Alright. So when we're getting the variable, that's when we are saying, hey, what is it? Right? And so we're going to return active, lowercase. And here we're going to say active equals value. Now value is whatever you set it equal to, and you'll see that in a second. So this is just a quick variable. This will get overridden, so we want to say virtual. We will override this in the future. I am positive. But it's very good to have. It allows you to set up what happens when you set it to active. And a lot of times you want more than just setting it to active. Anyway, okay, so we're going to collapse that region. We have what we want there. Close just says active, capital active, so our property, false. Now here you actually technically could say lowercase active, but you don't want to. You only want to use active through this property, and that will keep it so that no matter where you activate or deactivate it, you are doing whatever the override is for your activate. Okay, it's important. Just trust me there. Okay, so in update and in draw, we're going to say if active. You can use the upper or lowercase one here. Let's just use the uppercase one. It won't matter here. You almost never override the get, but you could if you wanted to, I guess. So this is the proper way. Here we're going to say top left. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's stop. And let's just copy this down, and then we'll move back to where we were. We still are working on our constructor. Let's do that. Okay, so we needed close. So there we go. Okay, so our button is over here, right here. Did I? Nope, I didn't. Content. Copy if newer. Don't forget that. We've had a couple questions on Discord about that. That's super important. You won't find the file if you don't do that. Also, this is the properties window. For those of you guys that are having issues finding it, it's in view. And then properties window right here. Okay, let's go back to here. We have 2D, misc, X button. Okay. How big is it? Where's the position? This is interesting. Top right corner. What is the top right corner? Well, it is bkg.dems or regular dems, whichever one you want to use. But I want it on the top of my background. And the background dims can be different than the regular dims, and that's important. That's why I have them both here. It's not important for this tutorial, but it's important if your background is odd, or if you use two pieces to a background, or lots of other things that you can do if they're separate. If they're not separate, then it limits you. So we don't want to limit ourselves. Dims X over 2, and then bkg.dems.y over 2, but this is a minus, right? Because we want to go up to the top right hand corner. We're in the center, we want to go up to the top right hand corner. Dimensions, probably 30/30 is fine. Let's just start with that. Okay, and then lastly, we want to set our font. So font equals new, or not new, globals dot content.load sprite sprite font, and then we want to do fonts Arial 16. Okay, so this takes care of setting up a lot of stuff to start a menu, and that's why we don't want to retype this each time. How long have we been at this? We've been at this for like almost 15 minutes. Okay, so we don't want to type this each time. This just saved us 15 minutes just in this. Now, we're going to have more to do. So top left, we want to know that in every menu, is equal to position minus dems over 2. At least in this case. We can always change this and overwrite it if we need to later. We always want to update our close button. Update, and then this is just position. So because we fed 0, 0 into the background, and this is only offset by the background's dimensions, we still need to fill in the position of everything into here. So that's what we're doing there. Okay? Alright, and then down here we are just going to do the background drawing. So vkg.draw pose and close button dot draw pose. Okay, so this does what we need it to do for now. We can add stuff to this later if we want to. If there's things you want to be a part of this, it's not an issue. You can do that. But this will suffice. So again, saves you about 15 minutes each time you do this. And that's considering you knew everything that you were using and where it all was and what you're calling. And what you're... there's a lot to it. So, okay, well, let's work on testing that. To do that, let's go into world. And then we're going to go public, Menu2d, character, menu. And then when we declare it, you need to declare it below load data, and you'll see that in a minute. So character menu equals new Menu2d, and then here we need to just set the data. So the data that we need is the position, which is a vector 2, the dimensions, and null, because we don't need to do that one. I'm not using that right now. Dimensions wise, probably 350 by 500 will do for now. You can resize this however you need to. And then position, just the middle of the screen. Middle of the screen is globals dot screen width over 2, globals dot screen height over 2. So that should put us in the middle of the screen. Alright. When we're drawing it, what we want to do is we want to come down here. It's not in this update stuff, so it's down, I don't know, right about here is probably fine. So character menu dot update, and then we need to do it in the draw. We want to do it after everything here, except for the UI. No, probably after the UI too. So character menu dot draw. Okay, and then I want to create a new function. So this is just a little bit of cleanup code, something that has been bothering me a little bit. Virtual void, not void, virtual bool. Don't update. Return false. And then if we come up here, grab all of our reasons why we wouldn't update, except for they're backwards, so we got to redo them. And we say if reasons return true. So this is don't update. These are allowing it to update, right? So switch all your nots and your ands to ors. So this one's equal. Whoops. Ugh. I'm having a day, boys. I'm sorry, guys, girls. My brain's toast. Already put in, I don't know, counting Sunday, close to 60 hours of work to this week already. So, and I've still got, no, probably over that. But anyway, I still got Friday and Saturday left to go. Okay, and then not here, not here. Okay, and then what we'll do here is we'll say or character menu dot active. Notice the capital letter there, right? I don't have access to the lowercase letter, so that's a good thing. Okay, and then we take this and we say, where is it? Here we go, and we say don't active, don't update. So long as we're not supposed to don't update, then so it's like a double negative, then we are updating. So I just wanted to put that in there. Now you can add whatever you want down there, and then you can use this in multiple places. And I'm pretty sure we should, but I'm not going to go through it right now. Okay, so we're going to test that now. So, we don't have a way to open our thing. Open our menu. Let's close that. Let's come down here. Where'd it go? Okay. Instead of G for checking our grid, we're going to do C for the character menu, and then we're going to say character menu dot active equals true. Okay, so we'll just push C. That'll pop up. Alright, so we're going to push C here. It shouldn't work. Good. I'm going to push C. It shouldn't work. Good. We're going to push C. It should work. Good. And this should close it. Notice the mob has stops when we open it. So it effectively pauses the game. Good. That's exactly what we're expecting. It is working. That's awesome. Okay. Next step. We are going to create the menu and inherit from it. So in UI, I'm going to create a new folder called Menus. Then I'm going to add a new item. And this is going to be character menu. Add. No, we need our... I could have used the other one, but whatever. Fix our namespace. Public. And then this is going to inherit from Menu2d. Then we have public character menu. We want to bring in a hero. Probably make it public. You don't probably need to, but since everything else in this project except for the very most recent active thing is public, we'll just keep it that way. Although I probably am going to start doing more complicated things than that, guys, because we're at the point where if you followed all 45 of these videos, you probably are starting to get comfortable with the basic code, and hopefully you are. If not, then maybe I won't, move on. But how about you let me know in the comments? But, alright, hero equals hero. And then, here, what we need is, sorry, I'm getting all gooed up in my throat. We need to add the base constructor. And then here, we're going to take in all of the data here. Right here. All of this. Cut it out. Paste it here. So that takes care of that. So now we need to override some things. Public override update. Public override draw. Okay. Hero needs to have a string for the name, and we're just going to hard code it real fast. You guys can do however you want later. Public string name, and then right here, name equals, and then whatever you want. So I'm going to name him my favorite character from the Delinar universe, which is Zavix, is a very powerful mage. It's the name of the guy's tower from one of my other games, yada yada yada. We're just going to do that. Call him whatever you want, but that deals with that. Okay, so in these here, we don't need to work on update, but we do need to override the draw and add some stuff to it. So you need to test for active again here. It's just the way it is. Probably capital would be better. Okay, and then we want to. Where are we drawing stuff? We draw stuff in UI. Let's go to UI. Okay, so drawing things. Well, first of all, we want our shader, and this is one string of drawing, so we'll grab all this right here. We'll put it in here. And then instead of gold, we will have nothing. And then hero name. Okay, and then that goes in there, that goes in there. Okay, now, where are we drawing this? Well, we're drawing it at top left plus, I'm trying to draw it in the middle of the screen. So we're going to do bkg.dems.x over 2 minus string dems.x over 2. And remember, the string dems is created here for those of that have forgotten. And it's drawing black. That's great. And this needs, I missed a letter there. Okay, so now when we test this, it should say Zavix at the top, and everything else should... Ooh, we braked it. Oh, we have to pass in hero. So remember I told you needed to do it below here? Well, you load hero in here, so in order to have access to it, you need... Oh, and then this needs to be changed, and this needs to be changed. So, character menu. Copy that. Character menu. Okay, so that should be correct now. Alright, let's give it a test. What we are expecting is a menu that says Zavix at the top, but still has all the overloaded functions working, which is exactly what we have. Okay, so that is the start of a character menu. I'm going to do more and more with this over the next, say, 10 to 20 tutorials. I have requests for text wrapping, and I have requests for just more UI items, and so I think this is a good place to kind of focus some of that programming in. So, yeah. That's the end of this tutorial, guys. If you liked the video and you haven't already, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet and you find that I could teach you something, maybe, hit subscribe. That'd be great. If this is helping you in any professional manner, please check out my Patreon. Every little bit does help. And, it would keep the channel pushing forward and healthy and thriving, which it currently is, and I'd like to keep it that way. Discord, guys, I want to mention again, jump over on Discord. I'm there a lot. Pretty much every day and for lots and lots and lots of hours. So if you have any questions, make sure you jump over there and ask them. I'm happy to help out. If you have comments, drop them up down in the comments as well, guys. Comments help to tell YouTube that there's engagement going on, so feel free to do so. And I will see you guys next time. All right.